You are now entering a dangerous liberty zone where God-given natural rights are held sacred and exercised. This is your warning. Tyranny, fascism, and censorship will not be tolerated. Ideas will be exchanged freely. Rigorous debate and open discourse is encouraged. If you are weak and your beliefs are fragile, you should leave now. Prepare yourself. We are now live on the Dangerous Liberty Podcast. Happy Wednesday, everybody. What's happening? Welcome to the Dangerous Liberty Podcast, where we know the only thing that's more dangerous than liberty is the lack thereof. We'll welcome everybody. Jeff Hahn, John Esmond, Mike Hen, Jason Sponsler, Justin. It's good to see you. Jay, if you could turn down my headphones a little bit. I'm blowing out my own eardrums.
Turn them down. Okay.
Turn them down a little bit for me. Summer, how was your week?
It was good.
Another wonderful week being married to your man. Oh, look at that. Oh, you're all
What's the
matchy.
name of that color?
It's called Power Pink.
Power Pink. Summer and I just hit 17 years of blissful marriage.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long time. Look, we got my favorite MOA nemesis, McG Spook.
McG Spook.
Good to have you, buddy.
Is it MCG Spook?
MCG Spook.
Yeah, I like
Is that Medical
like,
College of Georgia? I
like,
think you're in Georgia, right?
Yeah,
Mick
that's
G
exactly him. Yeah, that's pretty.
I don't think they call it Medical College of Georgia anymore, though.
Oh, Buzz Skinner. Good to see you, Buzz. Good to see you. Who else we got up here? We got
Mike Hen said he's armed and
Katao.
ready.
He told us how to say this at the shop, but now I forgot. Kauto. Katao.
Is it Kato for short?
Kato.
Kalto.
Ediberto is here. Good to see you, man.
Kauto.
Haven't seen you in a while. John Esmond. Good to see you. Who else we got up there?
We can't. Full out our fingers is not working
Jay is
tonight.
playing
He's back there playing on his phone
right
trying to
now.
get Rumble up.
It's live, but I am working toward our Lost Boys on Rumble right now.
Sweet. Could you scroll over here? You know what? Just
We are scrolled all the way down.
Oh, okay, but that's my
wanted-
problem.
That's the
wanted to
point.
see
We
the
want to
top.
see who was there at the top.
Oh,
I'm picking up
Oh,
what
there
you're
we
putting
We have
down.
StreamYard
Oh,
on
look at
there.
there.
we got Witchell. I'm tired of all this BS. Now's the time for a good men to come in aid of their country. I agree with you. Hey, Jay, one more time. Can you turn down my audio on my headphones?
Really?
It is,
Mine's super soft tonight.
dude, it is super
that one
loud.
better?
Mine's perfect.
Keep
Oh,
going.
yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Kids are
right
trying to
there.
blow out your
a little bit
eardrums.
more. Perfect. That's
Someone's super sensitive tonight.
No doubt.
yeah. I have sensitive ears.
Delicate
Jay.
ears.
It's still really loud. I don't know why.
Sensitive, huh?
Yeah.
You know what it is? We got the new audio cords. I can definitely hear a much clearer difference. Anyways,
It does sound very clear.
much better than those things that were falling apart all the time. Chris, how was your week?
Good, man. I got 5 days, 6 total days of work left, and I'm off till January 16th.
Jay, you got to come down like 10 more decibels in my ears. It's like super loud.
Sheesh.
I don't even know if you're turning on the right one.
I don't think
Probably not. Try the other one.
he's what color is your headphones?
I don't know.
We don't have
It's the red cord.
He's
where-
on one of them.
He's on the red cord.
but those don't even you can have those the mics and the
Try
headphones
one.
don't correlate.
Gotcha.
Try one.
Whatever
Is it
that one
quieter
is,
now?
That's not it. No.
Is it quieter yet, Gary?
Chris gets right on the microphone.
That whatever you just did was much better. All right,
don't
we'll,
turn
we'll
mine
actually
down.
do an audio check
I
before
can't
we
hear.
start next time.
We were pushing the wire this.
We were. Jason, how was your week?
Oh, just hanging out, chilling.
Yep.
Look at Jason back here.
How about them Giants, Jason?
Oh,
How about them Giants?
they are scared. I had so much hopes for the beginning of the season, and then Dallas completely destroyed that. I cried myself asleep that night, and then I really thought
How
it
was
was
that different than any other night? I mean, honestly.
I thought it was going to be really bad the second game. It turns out we came back. I don't know what was said that second half in that locker room, but needs to be said again on Thursday.
And we have a
They play tomorrow.
special guest that I think we're going to end up having here pretty regularly. We got Vito. He doesn't have a mic, but he's helping us out, and he's an audiologist. I think that's the name.
Yeah.
An audiologist.
It's
Audiologist.
not the power plant.
He is big into audio
He
technology.
doesn't do hearing aids, Gary.
Next time, I'm going to make sure we have his Instagram information up there. He's also a singer, super talented guy. He came to one of our courses, and that's what happens. If you end up coming to one of our courses, you end up coming to work for us. Just the way it works. We recruit you. Next thing you know, you're working.
Give me your phone and I'll look it up and post it.
I actually don't know where my phone
I don't
is.
know where mine is either.
So there's that. But yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. Some things transpired this week I think is worth talking about. And it's something that I'm going to continue to bring up because it is near and dear to my heart. And I think...
Well, your anniversary?
Yes. Yes.
That's good.
But I think it's extremely important. And I think all of us, even me, as much as I think how serious it is and how social media affects our everyday lives and is framing our society and is reshaping it in a terrible way. I think it's something that we need to continue to stay on and bring it from time to time. So we are definitely going to cover that, and I definitely want to hear from you guys. And let's see, I remade the definition of MOA sucks. We agree. If you shoot MOA, you suck.
Everybody's wanting to see Chris's hat up close.
Chris, go up there. Actually, we have
No,
a
you just cut this. You cut this one right here.
Vito. You're in charge of the camera
Yeah.
angles tonight because Jason forgets about them.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm so far away right
Nobody's seen this hat.
now.
I got more on order.
We got more of those on the
Yeah,
way.
cut to it.
Cut to that one.
That one is a
There we
color.
go.
is that-
There we go.
Let me get in here.
It's 3D embroidery. It's freaking sweet.
It does have the back embroidered as well.
Yep. Look at that.
The red shirt brings out the red embroidery.
The hat looks better closer up. Chris doesn't.
Up yours, Gary.
I love the red shirt tonight, man.
It looks good. I like it. It's fire red.
Yeah,
I took it after old Daddy Trump.
I love it. Oh, speaking of which,
Speaking of,
go grab those.
I put them back there somewhere.
Grab my phone too. We got to show you guys this. I'll end up doing a post on this in the near future.
Straight back from your 31 bag.
We just got in some very special edition bipods that you guys have got to check out.
They're sweet.
They are so sweet.
They match my shirt. Is summer coming back tonight?
I don't know. Thought she was going over there, coming back.
I don't know,
Just
you
pull
know.
them out. We got the box.
Pull them out.
I was going to do a great reveal.
Oh, okay. We'll get up
Well,
there.
yeah,
I'm
we
sorry.
should
I'm
because we
sorry.
don't know what brand it is. So yeah, definitely
Well, everybody knows.
brand recognition.
Do you want me to do an unboxing?
Do the unboxing.
Do the unboxing. Cut the Summers cam. Look at that.
These are actually pretty freaking sweet.
They are sweet.
Before.
Don't lose the stickers.
Dun, 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 dun.
We got to show them the
I'm
set.
going
Oh,
to.
okay.
Check that out.
The Trump edition AccuTax.
In a nice, gorgeous red.
They're all
Anodized
anodized.
red.
Yeah.
That's sexy.
They are sexy. So we'll get some of those. We have a big shipment of those coming in.
Special limited edition.
Very special limited
Limited
edition. I'm not even sure if they cost. I don't know what the deal is on them.
They cost $1 million.
They cost they're worth $1 million. But there is going to be a very limited edition. So if you guys want one of those, again, I don't think they're that much. Yeah, I honestly don't even know. I
Jay, you
honestly
see
don't
Don't
know if they
quote me,
cost
but I
more.
think they're the
See
same
that
price.
from
think they're
Willie?
the same price. Anyways, we will have some of those up on the website. We actually ordered those with the ARCA, and they sent us pics. So we're going to be doing some exchanging with those.
I'm wondering if they only, I don't know.
I don't
We'll
know.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Well,
we're having a rumble
Edgar
problem
asked
tonight.
us.
Okay.
Edgar
he
asked
did.
that. What's that?
Go ahead, Jay.
We're having a rumble problem tonight, Willie. So we can't. I'm not getting on it either. So we're having a little bit of a rumble issue
All right.
right now. So our lost boys over there are gonna.
Be extra lost.
Yeah, they're gonna be super lost.
Well, if you're on Rumble and you can hear us, which you obviously can't, come over for one night. Come over to the fascist tube over here, and you can come hang on with
MCG
us.
Spook says the red looks good. I agree. It looks even
Yeah,
better in person,
Red looks
honestly.
real good.
Yeah, they look super sharp.
Super good.
That's the 45th and 47th president. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. With
Okay,
it. It
just
is
letting
what
you
it is. So I got to do some. You have to end up doing some like stream links and stuff that you got to plug in there.
Mike says he's on Rumble and everything's working.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right. Well,
And we
cool.
have a green check mark on Rumble, so.
Yeah,
But
I
he just pulled it up,
I
and
just
it's
went to
definitely-
it. It says video error. So
So it might just be a Rumble issue. That happens.
it's
from time
probably
to
that thumbnail.
Let's
believe it's
see.
pronounced
Well,
Okay,
Rumblay?
so MCG Spook is Jeff.
Rumblay?
Yep.
Jeff, I'll
Rumblay.
forget that, but I'll try.
I remember his last name too. I got to remember your arch nemesis. We are
And he's
we are
from-
arch nemesis.
He's from Georgia. I mean, all your arch nemesis seem to come from Georgia.
That's you're not wrong.
I'm from Georgia, people. No, I'm just kidding.
Mike Poindexter says he's on Rumble and everything's working just fine.
Sweet.
Sex Matthew my thong. I don't know what that means.
Jason, speak English.
Jason sponsor. Look, you got to speak non-Wyoming here so that we understand.
Need a little Appalachian.
We might have to get somebody from Idaho. I think they can actually
Idaho.
translate Wyoming to normal. You're like right in the middle. Chris Bishop, good to see you, buddy.
So I think we kind of interrupted you and got off on a tangent. You said you were going to
Yeah,
talk
sorry.
about something very near and dear to your heart.
Oh, let's interrupt.
And I brought up summer. And then
No,
you skipped over it real quick.
again, we're definitely going to talk about social media, and so this week I made a video. It was one of those things I was going to just do a quick video, and it turned into an all evening thing regarding Russell Brand. It's crazy in this day and age that you can be accused of something and everything taken from you. And really, I know when it comes to your constitutional rights, and there's some things that I want to talk about on that regard that doesn't apply to corporate and private businesses and things like that. And there's some of those concepts that I'd actually like to challenge tonight. I've been thinking long and hard about this, but we'll get into some of those things tonight. But the reality is that there is a real problem. And what's crazy is when I post some of these things, people challenge. They're like, "Oh no, it's not that they're political. It's a money thing." Well, bull crap. It's not. First of all, if you believe for a second that Google, who completely controls what information anyone in the United States is actually searching. I mean, they have almost total control over what information reaches them.
I love that guy.
Yeah, right? No way.
No way.
Sorry.
I wish we could say the rest of it.
It's nuts. And obviously, for those that you don't know, Google owns YouTube. And what's nuts about that too is when I was doing some research, I wanted to include some clips in some of the videos that into the video that I included or made about Russell Brand. Some of those things I couldn't even find on Google. I actually had to switch over to Brave to research and get any sort of decent results. So we need to be completely aware of how information is controlled, how information is put in front of you, how it is very carefully chosen, what people are seeing and what people are not seeing. One of the pieces of information that I came across was actually, it was a study by a left-wing, I think it was Wired or something along those lines. But the myth amongst the left was that YouTube was supposedly pushing right-wing channels the most.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
because
Yeah.
anytime the left sees anyone that may lean right or even centrist, they automatically
I
assume
wish they'd
that
push our channel.
100%.
Wait, before you go any farther, what's Brave for people? Because I've never heard of Brave, so some people out there might not heard.
Brave is a search engine.
A browser.
a
So
browser.
just Brave.com?
Yeah, I think it's just Brave. If you
Or
look up,
you can download the Brave app too.
Yeah.
Oh,
on your
okay.
phone.
Okay.
just like you have a Google search app on your phone.
Yeah.
You
Interesting.
can download Brave.
I've heard of DuckDuckGo. Is it similar or not? Or?
It's similar, but it's better. So
Okay.
first of all, DuckDuckGo, people don't realize this, actually gets their information from Google. They're
it's a double
they're
negative.
essentially using Google search engine.
Gotcha. So Brave is the more okay.
Yeah.
And you'll get some funny results, and sometimes it's a little frustrating on Brave.
Yeah.
But you're getting more authentic, non-controlled.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And-
just do what I do. I hit like page 17, right? And try to, like on Google, you get the bottom.
Sometimes Google doesn't give you a second page.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But
I was gonna say, we need a guy on the crickets button.
Yeah.
yeah, the crickets.
A new guy.
I liked when he was like when Vito wasn't back there taking it, like he didn't have
I
have
got so much time for
I know.
activities now.
I know, he
You got time to like
talk.
think about things. Yeah.
He's like, what can I say next?
I'm upset he switched out his comfy chair.
Yeah. So where was I? Oh, so
You went to Brave to get some results.
yeah.
Yes.
So one of the studies that I came across from, I believe it was Wired magazine. They did all this research. They were trying to prove that essentially that YouTube was actually promoting these right wing sites. Well, come to find out, there's like 3 or 4 times as many what Google or they deemed kind of centrist or right than there are left. But YouTube actually
they're
pushes.
They're more centrist or right what?
They-
Channels?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are 4 to 5 as many channels on YouTube, 4 to 5 times as many channels on YouTube that kind of lean right or wouldn't be considered leftist, right? And yet, leftist information and channels are pushed by the YouTube algorithm, but 2 to 1 over right. So, I mean,
That was that study you saw.
what's that?
That was the study you're
Yeah,
talking about.
it was actually again a leftist channel, a leftist publication trying
And
to
even said,
yeah, that we're trying to prove that we're researching the idea that is floated amongst the left that YouTube basically propagates right-wing propaganda, basically.
huh?
Yeah,
That's.
and it completely backfired in their
I was gonna
face.
say it's a pretty worthless
But
article.
here's something that Jeff brought up in a comment a minute ago that's kind of moved up now. I mean, YouTube can promote what they want and put out what they want and not put out what they want. I mean, and we can choose not to use YouTube.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, there's that, but you also can't basically call someone guilty.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I kind of want to challenge a little bit when we talk about these companies, when we talk about social media in general. I do believe in private companies and things like that. The problem with the social media companies is they're actually not held to the same standards that other companies that have editorial, which is essentially what they're doing, right? They're using editorial privilege to determine what is seen and what not seen, and that was originally how they got away from being regulated like a newspaper or some of these other companies. They basically said, hey, look, we are not editorializing this information. This information is coming in, it goes out. And we've since seen a drastic change. And I don't remember the exact publication or the exact ruling on that, the actual regulation that actually covers that. But somebody can throw that up. It's been up in the news many times.
Forgive me if I'm sounding naive or dumb, but
Never, Summer.
there's tons of newspapers, online publications, all this. What standard are they held to? Because they choose to be more left or more right and publish what
So
they
this
want.
is what I'm talking about. They're not held liable for anything that they're those
So you
companies
can't sue them
Not
for
held
slander.
liable. Yeah,
Right.
I see what you're saying.
So YouTube and them, they get a lot of privileges and
Gotcha.
freedom in that they're saying, hey, we are not providing editorial information, we're not controlling the information, so you can't hold us
So
liable
you can't hold us accountable for what other people say.
for what other people
Right.
say.
Gotcha.
But once you start moving into that realm of, hey, we are controlling what is put out and what's not, and we're controlling this person or not. And the reality is we've got to a point to where, this is essentially a public space. I don't want government to get in the business of necessarily running Facebook, YouTube, and I don't want the government in anything. But the reality is
Well,
the
public
reality
space.
is that YouTube and Facebook and when it comes to our rights and how they are essentially, I don't want to frame this because I want to be careful how I say this. If the government does anything, one of the things that the government should be able to do is guarantee our rights. And when we're talking about a essentially what has now become a very public space, when they are determining what information is put out and what is not, I think they've gone too far. And especially when we're talking about where you have the issue of like Russell Brand, where they are now demonetizing his information. And here's the problem with that. They're not just demonetizing him, right? First of all, chances are if they're anything like us, when our videos get demonetized, you play them, you still see ads on our videos. And you're still ads that videos that are demonetized. I'm still seeing ads when I happen to go back and play them. Now, when they first get on there, you won't see any ads for a while. But then I happen to go back and I'm like just watching a video because maybe somebody made a comment and I want to make sure that the context is correct. Next thing you know, I'm watching an ad on one of my demonetized videos. But the other part that they're making money on, they're making millions of dollars off of somebody like Russell Brand because of the eyes they bring to YouTube in general. And on top of that, you have all these other content creators that are cutting up his videos and turning them into different shorts and things like that. So YouTube is making millions and millions of dollars off of in that regard as well. So, it's not just the matter of, taking his money and ultimately going to silence him. The other problem that we're seeing that we are normalizing is we are normalizing a cancel culture where it is okay without being proven guilty just because you have done something that society says is distasteful to start going after them. And people have this genuine sentiment like, hey, they should be, if somebody that they don't like, whether it's Alex Jones, whether it's somebody else, you see that the vitriol that these people are put through, whether or not what they say is true or not.
Or the minute an accusation is made on something serious, like it was, that's a serious thing to be accused
Absolutely
of.
it is.
But the minute an accusation is made or a word is said, then they're immediately canceled, whether or not there's proof that they did it, whether or not they're found guilty, whether or not it was actually true or not. They're canceled and it's done. And even if they are later found not guilty, it's proven it's not true, then it's too late.
Still, their name's mud.
Yep.
Yeah, their name is Bud. And again, chances are, even if he comes, I'm interested to see if Russell Brand is proven not guilty, or there's information that comes out that whether these are true or not. And look, I'll tell you right now, if Russell Brand, I watched some of his stuff. I agree with some of his stuff. I disagree vehemently on many other things. At the end of the day, the guy is a somewhere in between a libertarian and a communist. He really does.
That's a good way to put it.
He really does. He kind of straddles a lot of different things. There's some things I completely agree with him on. I'm not a big fan of Russell Brand. I find him entertaining. It is funny to have watched how he's changed since in the last few years, if you go watch some of the stuff on Russell Brand prior to COVID to after COVID, I think like a lot of people, including Joe Rogan and everything else, there's lots of guys like him that have been red pilled that see what kind of influence the government has.
Like that, red pilled.
And the collusion between government, social media, the news organizations out there. There is clear evidence of collusion and coordination. So, I think a lot of people
I think they
including
just want to make all conservatives out to be these bad, horrible people behind the scenes. And I think there's some of that too. It's not just about silencing them. I think they want.
Well, it's not like Russell Brand's a conservative.
Well, I'm just saying he's speaking out on some things that
Sure.
are in a conservative way.
He's challenging the two-party system, which
Yes.
I don't necessarily disagree
Sharon
with.
Osbourne's pissed at him now, 43 minutes ago.
I'm sure.
Not Sharon.
Sharon Osbourne.
Anybody but Sharon.
Oh man.
Jason
I just saw it.
Sharon.
I just wanted to see if there's any new updates that Sharon Osbourne speaks out. I'm like, oh God.
She was actually in the middle of posting that in the middle of a plastic, surgery session there.
She was trying to.
Y'all are
She was
terrible.
probably trying to drag.
That's called
Ozzy back to
multitasking,
the
Gary, and
bedroom.
you shouldn't frown upon it.
Not Sharon.
Yeah, and the reality is, I do think that we need to take a different look at how rights are protected on these different platforms, and not just in these platforms, even from a business perspective and things like that. Because when we go to civil rights, obviously there's some things that you can't discriminate against, right? You can't discriminate against somebody from their race, their religion, or the sexuality. It wasn't too long ago that the idea that sexual preference, being able to discriminate against somebody based on their sexual preference, that was, kind of a norm not too long ago, and that changed. And I would also say that the other things that should be protected is just about anything else in our Bill of Rights, right? The fact of the matter, the reality is today is some employers could genuinely say, you know what, you're a Republican, I don't like your political views, I want to be able to fire you. So all of these things, I think, ultimately need to be considered a protected class. The fact that you like guns, the fact that all these things that are protected by the Constitution are things that should be enforced by the government, that you should not be able to discriminate against somebody. And the same thing goes with social media. Just because that we have a political view or a religious view, now you are Christian, and bigotry is now a synonym. Let's just face it. If you are a traditional Christian and you don't agree with a lifestyle of, homosexuality or whatever else that you don't agree with based on biblical principles, then you are now a bigot. And again, it's not that people disagree or have a personal bias against a person. It's, again, their lifestyle and what they're doing. Has nothing to do with individuals, right? And it's nothing personal. It's a religion. And yet we can still
there are courts that have decided that you can force a Christian to bake a cake, which later was later overturned. But we're going to see more and more of these things. And the fact of the matter is that YouTube shouldn't be able to discriminate against us because we promote the safe usage and education when it comes to the Second Amendment. I mean, that's just absolutely insane.
They should just do what they say they're doing and pass the information through.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they've gotten away from that. They now have different community standards and things like that, which, by the way, they do not follow. Folks, 99% of my videos, I made sure that I went through the community standards.
Yeah, I've seen you go line by line and be like,
and made sure that I am not violating anything within the firearms policy that they have. I went out and bought extra mags that were not 30-round magazines and put those in videos because just showing a magazine.
Yeah, but the guy on there reviewing it, that looks like a 30-round clip to them, Gary.
I don't doubt that, but that's
what I mean? That's what I'm
saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That
that's
holds
a reason.
1 in a million bullets.
that goes back to
his
what
clip.
That's a reason why that rule shouldn't be there to begin with. On top of many other things.
Agreed.
But again, like when I did the video on scope wedges and the reason that those things don't work, I literally intentionally never used a firearm. I used a scope mounting device. I put that up there. That one got
but
demonetized.
it's like what Eric
scary,
Cortina
Yeah, right.
said.
You can't say the words.
It's the words,
Nope.
not what you show.
So
it's
nope,
the words.
Nope. So I actually one video, not a video right after I did that had nothing to do with words. And again, we're talking. So that's fine. I actually tried that. It doesn't work. And that may have worked a couple years ago or whatever else, but that doesn't work.
Well, it's
And
because you're a redhead then.
well, that's
And
true.
I would automatically demonetize you.
100%.
Nope, not this guy
Thanks,
again.
Jason. I'm a
But
redhead
again,
too.
Wear a wig.
But that is algorithm driven. The problem though
Oh, yeah,
is
they're waiting for your next video.
the problem is that when you actually get someone to review it, and now it's been confirmed by human review that your video somehow violates some, and they don't ever tell you. You don't ever get an answer or anything
You don't
else.
get a report or nothing?
No.
Nothing. It just says this confirmed that you have violated community
Doesn't
standards.
tell you how you violated, what you violated.
Nothing like that. Doesn't tell you. It doesn't even say that you did the firearms policy.
That would take too much time, I guess.
What's that?
That'd take too much time from the
Well,
company.
no, I mean,
you know
like,
what I mean?
the problem
we
is
don't have time for you peons.
Well, I mean, who's really gonna sue them, right, over this, right? I think that's the biggest problem, right? So, like,
That's the thing. Can you, Jay?
You
It's
might
a
be
public
able to,
prop.
right?
No, it's a
Because-
public prop platform.
True, it's a public platform, but
No,
if
you-
you're
and you're
if
making
you're
money.
losing
there has
money-
been multiple lawsuits.
What?
There's been multiple lawsuits on this issue.
And they go nowhere.
Well, what's happening with them?
They've
don't hear
lost,
about 'em.
and
Yeah,
that's my point.
YouTube is lost, or the person that sued YouTube.
The person that sued
yeah.
YouTube has lost in different ways, right? I think ultimately what we need is some lawsuits, and there's still plenty of lawsuits going against them. But
If you have the time and money to deal with it.
that's
Yeah,
the
right.
thing.
Who has that?
You're
Well-
going up against freaking YouTube and Google. Who's going to have the time to fight
Well,
that?
Russell Brand
That's the
would.
thing.
And there's other,
Katy Perry took half.
well,
I
that's true.
say Elon Musk has to buy Facebook also.
You mean YouTube?
No, he needs to buy
And
you.
YouTube.
I think he just
And
needs
Google.
to buy them
And
all.
Google. I think you should just buy them all.
Just buy them all and be done.
So he needs to buy Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram.
No, and Jeff, it's not a public platform technically. There's no doubt about that.
No.
But again, when you have a private company that is choosing who is seen was not as seen, and when it is, there's a problem there, and there does need to be some sort of either regulation or there has to be some sort of recourse when they're completely cutting off. Because again, when you got Google and you got YouTube and they are determining who sees what, they are now affecting elections. They are now affecting people's thoughts on they can determine essentially and program just about every person out there.
But to some degree, people need to take personal responsibility for doing their own research and not just
for sure.
listening to
I
the
mean,
information
yes,
that's put
you're
out.
right, Summer, but
So-
a lot
so-
of people are dumb.
But
let me
I
ask you that.
understand they control what information is put out. I get it, but there are there's some ways to find it if you're really looking for it.
Well, sure, but
Everybody's attention span's this long.
I get it.
if you're going to research something, where are you going to go?
Google
Right.
it,
You're going to Google, or you're going to YouTube,
or you're going.
I mean, that's
or
the
you're going to
reality.
Bing. I mean, it's
Who uses Bing?
So let me ask you a question: is that so? Like them having
calm
these
down, Summer.
algorithms, right? And they continue to grow and grow and grow. Is that not capitalism?
your mom's
Right?
an algorithm.
Is
What's
it
that?
not just a form of capitalism where they're doing their best to push people certain ways to get more searches or more money or whatever it may be. Is it right?
I don't think
Essentially,
that's-
we're calling for
I don't-
government or somebody to come in as a regulating, right? So now we're going to be regulating
Well,
capitalism, right?
we have anti-monopoly laws as it is.
Oh, for sure,
Because
100%.
it's not capitalism. It's completely different than that. That's not what we're really discussing, in my opinion. But we have a certain company that has essentially a monopoly,
That's the word.
a major monopoly over a certain form of entertainment and information that nobody has any sort of recourse against.
But that's kind of my question though, right? Because like if you have yes, while we all use Google, right? Can you have a monopoly on search engines? You really can't because anyone can create one, right? And we can go use whatever one we want, right?
Well, but
we
anyone
all
can
use
create a lot of
one
different
search
companies,
engine,
but-
right?
That's you know, you can type in whatever you
let's-
want.
let's-
right?
Let's go back just a step, because again, when we're talking about YouTube right now, why aren't people going over to Rumble? Because everybody's on YouTube.
Well, nobody had heard of Rumble either.
That's true.
That's the biggest thing.
That's part of the problem.
Yes.
But with that being said, the reality is that new laws have come about many times, because the old question, if you're getting abused on the job, well, what's the problem? You can go get a new job. I mean, if you don't like whatever abuse that you're taking on a new job, just go to a new job. Well, we all know it's not as simple as that. And the reality is that the government has stepped in, and again, if you're going to have government, one of the things that one of the very narrow scopes of things that they should be doing is protecting people's rights and protecting the fact that, hey, you know what? You can't silence somebody that's espousing a Christian point of view or a certain political point of view while constantly projecting and pushing these other narratives all the time. Because that's not how YouTube started. And that's really what it comes down to is what we're going through is this bait and switch situation where everybody invested in YouTube because it was a neutral platform for all intents and purposes.
Originally.
You could get on there, you could talk about guns. They had rules. They had rules.
You could talk about rainbow flags.
You could talk about whatever you wanted to.
Concrete.
And you know what? If people wanted to come view you, they could. But the problem is when you're getting suppressed by an algorithm because you don't fit a certain, you haven't checked the blocks that YouTube wants to promote. That's a real problem. And when YouTube is now acting as a political activist, which they are, that's 100% what they're doing.
Essentially,
they're
does
acting
Google.
as a political. And Google does too, and those
And
things have
the
been proven.
book.
Gary, it's all Russian collusion.
What's that?
It's all Russian collusion.
It's all Putin.
It's all Putin.
All Putin.
Yeah, stop Putin me on.
Well, Jeff,
Son of a Putin.
we'll disagree on capitalism on that particular, just like we disagree on MOA versus mill, and that's fine. But the reality is when you have an absolute monopoly on a certain situation, and then also you are infringing on whatever you can call them rights, you can call them whatever you are. But what we don't have is an equality on a platform. That's what you don't have. And that's a problem. And I absolutely think that we need to get to a point, because again, when we go back to, let's talk about some of the other issues that not just YouTube, but also even like PayPal, for instance. Again, we started working with PayPal. We were using them to be able to charge people for different things, and suddenly they shut us down, took $8,000 of our
Well,
own
in
money.
between
that was
that,
crazy.
they
I wanna
updated their
check out
user
something.
agreement silently in the background, and it's one of those things where, just click here to agree, and you're like, oh, nobody ever reads those things, you know?
And that's the thing that people don't understand is, number one, PayPal is able to do things like that because they're not considered a bank.
Although they freaking issue debit cards, they issue loans, they have,
I thought so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at something else.
But they're
eBay's same way,
not
too.
regulated
What's
under
that?
the FDA.
eBay same way. Like
Yeah.
I just went to eBay. I just like, you know what? Do they
Is the
sell
eBay
something?
owned by PayPal? Isn't there some
Or-
sort of?
No,
or
they
vice
used,
versa or
they
something?
used to be, but then I think they separated. PayPal,
Gotcha.
eBay has its own payment processing and everything now.
Well, I just went to eBay and just put AR-15 upper in. I get stickers.
Yeah.
yeah,
no-
you're not
no-
allowed to sell gun parts on eBay.
No gun parts.
No
Why?
gun parts whatsoever.
Why?
That's a good
You can
question.
sell cars.
You can sell cars.
You can sell.
You can get
you can
away
sell
with
yourself
posting a few
probably
things,
for a
but
great low price.
But I mean, that's what.
you used to be able to.
and and that's
that doesn't make sense to me.
and that's another thing that I don't think people really get. Like, if you own a gun shop for, like, you know how hard we had to find? Oh, not only did PayPal cancel us and take $8,000 of our money.
You can't even
just
buy a
sitting
Stole
there.
it.
you can't even buy a magazine
On,
on,
on
eBay.
top of that, no, you can't. On top of that,
Bet
we
you can
had
buy solvent traps.
we had our payments processing
Or mobile payment processing?
through the website.
Yeah. That was, well, it was originally done through PayPal.
Well, I know, but then we had another one that put on us
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So we had multiple payment processing.
And then also our mobile, we were using Square for mobile stuff out on the range, and then they shut us down. And
Yep.
then I applied with like 2 more that accepted us, ran 1 transaction, not even ammo or guns. And then they decided they didn't want to work with us. And it was just every time I would get one set up, then they'd cancel, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah, and the reality is we're going to get to a point, folks, where like there is no payment processing ability for people that
Well,
own
that's
gun
their
shops.
goal.
It is their goal,
And then
they're doing
the
an
people that
excellent
handle
job.
us charge us extra.
Yeah, and so now we pay extra in processing fees, all these things. So it's a frustrating time, both for the gun industry, but again, even conservatives. Trying to find a place to where, if you are not hook, line, and sinker sold on the leftist propaganda, there's got to be a place to where you can speak your mind and be able to actually be heard. It really does.
What are you
Hey, you know what
about?
I just looked up what Jay
Yeah,
Jay did. You
go
can get
ahead,
on there and get the half a 28 adapter though for your AR to go.
No, you got to look under solvent traps under automotive.
Oh.
Right.
And it says half a 28 threads on it.
It says single core.
Three
for
quarters
Napa.
of our audience don't know what you guys are talking about.
We're talking about putting the redneck suppressor on your AR.
Yeah.
So you can basically go online and illegally buy these things. They are
Not
silencers.
illegally buy. You can
Well,
buy
you
it.
can buy it, but
It's
they
not
are
illegal.
silencers, right? And
I don't know if
You
that's
would
that's
be
silencers.
illegally in possession of.
They're
it.
a,
Yes,
they're
for
a
sure.
solvent trap.
They're
Jay.
they're a quote unquote solvent trap that nobody actually uses.
right.
And,
So I mean, they just happen to
yeah.
fit. They have the right.
Can't sell gun parts on eBay, but you can sell silencers.
But I could get the adapter half a 28 up to 3/4, so I can fit, a standard car
put in
oil
there,
filter.
Chris. Put in their solvent traps and look under automotive.
Yeah, Jason.
Gotta love it.
Jason, it was the same thing. So Jason says my buddy owns
automotive.
an airsoft store,
Airsoft,
and his
though.
credit card machine figured out what his business was, and they considered it to be weapons. They wouldn't let him use their service anymore.
Yep.
Jay,
So-
I like how they include a piece of clear tubing with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. You
Like,
need the clear
where's,
tube.
where's that even going to hook up to?
Yeah.
Look at that. See a little piece of clear tubing that comes with it, Gary.
Yeah, with a
We got to have that.
You're good to go.
For
Yeah.
solvent trap.
yeah, that's a nice monocore solvent trap.
Yeah, and they have it just sticking. They just have it sitting beside a motorcycle engine.
Obviously, that's a filter, Chris. Obviously.
It's
That's it.
mainly due to a lack of your mechanical knowledge that you don't understand what's going on there.
Yeah.
For $29.99 and free shipping, it could be yours. Half a 5/8 that'll fit on a 45 caliber. The more you know.
Indeed. Yeah. So
Don't tell the ATF.
we got to get. I don't know the answer, folks. I don't know what we need to
Well,
do.
you hate to call for more government regulation or hands-on anything with the government.
Absolutely, I do.
Right, because that's anti-capitalism.
But
Well, hold
Now
on.
we're going.
hold on,
Now we're going to
hold
liberal
on.
way, right? They want big government, right?
Yeah, but capitalism isn't necessarily completely. Capitalism is a financial system, not necessarily.
Correct.
Capitalists tend to not want government interference. That's true, but we're kind of conflating issues here in my mind.
Well, I mean, for Google, for example, right? If I want to pay to have my advertisements up front, or if Google wants to steer you a certain way, whether it be politically or whatever, that monetizes them more, right? Like
I've never heard of the monetize.
It
Yeah.
monetizes.
There's a lot of, by the way, if you're
monetize.
new folks here, there's a lot of J-isms here.
here's-
And,
Anyway, let him talk.
He's like a computer
Let him finish
monetarize.
his-
Finish your thought, Jay. Was that it?
I'm blank now, so yeah.
Squirrel.
So what YouTube says is that because of basically they have advertisers, if you have guns in there or whatever, their firearms policy is essentially to make their advertisers happy.
Why don't they just let the advertisers choose?
Well, first of all, that's a farce. Okay,
I know it is,
there's
but I'm
there's
just saying.
plenty.
Granger must pick you all the time.
There's
'cause that's all I ever
plenty
get.
there's plenty of folks out there that would choose to only advertise on gun channels, whether it's outdoor camping, four-wheeler companies,
For sure.
whatever it is.
Ford trucks.
So all you got to do is, again, have a questionnaire for an advertiser. Hey, do you want your stuff on gun channels?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
Are you pro 2A?
Yes
That's all
or
you
no?
have to say. Yeah.
But to pretend that we have every single advertiser on YouTube that doesn't want to be on 2A channels, that's just it defies common sense. The other problem is, it's not very capitalist if you don't allow gun companies or gun accessories or even outdoor companies to advertise. Speaking of which, we just had what's his name? He just had his channel demonetized too. Mike over at Fieldcraft Survival. Fieldcraft Survival. They don't do hardly anything with guns. They just had their channel demonetized as well. And that's another thing, folks. It's not just a matter of you're not making money. Again, when they say they demonetize you, what they're really saying is that they're not allowing, they're going to destroy your ability to reach anybody else.
Right.
They're
Right,
going
you're
to
gonna have a lot
hide.
They're
significantly less
suppressing you.
views.
They're suppressing you. They're going to hide you from the search results and everything else. So, why is Fieldcraft Survival being demonetized?
Jeff said somehow I get a lot of kitten toy advertisements on our videos.
It goes off of the search engine on the uploader's computer.
Well, that's just coming from your Google results. That's
Yeah, I used your computer a lot, Gary.
It was a family show. I had a couple jokes for that one.
It is a family show.
yeah. Mike Glover over at Fieldcraft Survival. So there is a very systematic and strategic approach to this, and those are just things that we have to be aware of. And again, if you think, well, it's just because of advertisers or they're just trying to cover, no, they're not. If you believe at this point that YouTube and Google aren't politically motivated and agenda driven, you're just naive. I don't know what to say.
What I also see, not just with YouTube,
They are
but-
anti-military, Joe.
Sure. I also see this as like there's so many companies or organizations that are so scared of being associated with anything to do with shooting because of how
Oh, for sure.
litigious it's gotten.
Yeah.
So every tragedy that happens,
Hands off.
freaking, you got a million lawsuits going against the the manufacturer, the shop that sold it, the ammo manufacturer, this, the that, and nobody wants to be associated with
Well,
it because of the frivolous lawsuits. Like, I didn't make someone pull the trigger and do something crazy, like,
Well,
why am I being sued?
and YouTube and Google and everybody else has a hand in that too. They have prepped the objective. They have set the conditions to where people feel that way. They are
Sure,
part of
I
that.
know.
They're pushing narratives and they're pushing information that is not backed up by statistics or reality. But again, the more they're hitting it from so many different angles that if we don't start standing up, we're not going to have anywhere to stand up.
Yeah.
That's the point. Is they're pushing propaganda saying that there's a mass shooting every single day in America, when we obviously know there's
And
not.
what was the statistic? How many people did it have to be a mass shooting?
Oh yeah, from the FBI statistic, I
Yeah, it
remember
was
that.
like 2 or something crazy. It was.
Yeah, it's
It was-
it's,
it was-
it's not. It's very low.
It was
It's
up
Yeah.
to, it was
around,
up to I believe it was three people injured.
Three people, I think.
3.5.
Yeah, it was like 3 people injured. I don't remember, but it really doesn't matter. But what people think of in their mind as a mass shooting, what
I
the
know.
media is passing off as a mass shooting is very different. That's the
Absolutely.
reality. And
That was my point.
Well, right, because
Yeah,
they're
makes perfect
no,
statistics
I
in there.
was just regardless of all I was saying was regardless of the statistic, your point stands. Yeah, look, Dick's Sporting is good. Again, they completely got rid of ARs because
I don't think they sell any guns.
No, they don't.
no, they do sell guns.
No, they don't. Not at Dick's.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know if all of them do, but some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah, definitely. I was just
Walmart got
Dick's
rid of
the other
their.
day. I went and looked at
Walmart
guns.
got rid of their ARs.
Yep.
Yeah.
but they do sell guns.
Yeah,
Yeah, Walmart. I think
shotguns,
just
right?
I don't I see. I have to go back and look. I don't. They might not sell semi guns anymore. They might only be bolts and shots.
I know they don't sell ARs either. does
Yeah,
Dick's.
yeah, I knew that. But
Yeah, and you know, again, as gun owners, you know, I still believe that a majority of this country, a significant majority of this country is pro 2A.
we're the quiet type.
We are the quiet type, and there are some in
the
there
problem.
that you got the New York FUD.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
I know, that's why I used it. The New York NRA types. Well, I believe in the Second Amendment, but no one needs an AR-15. You have those types, right?
Right.
So, but the reality is that I think, again, we have a significant majority of the United States that is still pro Second Amendment. And they need to start pushing back on this. They need to realize what's going on with this. And again, all we can do is things like this to hopefully spur some thought.
We're always spurring thought.
Some
over here.
spurring some thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And talk about these issues
spur
because
a
no
lot
one
of
else
thoughts.
does. Dear God. I don't know why we had to try to have a serious conversation ever.
Well, and then you gave him free reign back
I
there,
did,
where
I
he
did.
doesn't have
I don't
anything to
even have to use
occupy
my
himself.
hands
I had him-
now.
Yeah.
have
I had
so
him
much
tied
time to
up.
Sounds
thought
like Ricky. It
process.
sounds like Ricky Bobby back there. I don't know what to do with my hand. Car.
Yeah, you
Car
know,
ran real good.
the New York Fuzz or throw up Justin's comment up there.
Other one.
Yeah, get that one that starts off with R.
R.
Jesus
The
Christ.
New York Feds are in for a surprise when they go to buy their ammo for the upcoming hunting season, and they are presented with a new ammo background check. Let me just tell you, if you come to West Virginia and buy your ammo, it is also sales tax free because we love freedom here.
Yeah.
Ammo sales tax free?
Ammo
And guns.
and guns.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
we can save you 6%.
Robin, I'm buying an expensive gun.
Yeah.
You save 6%, Chris.
See,
Freaking,
there's
you
one
can't
that looks like this blue one there.
you can't afford not
Have you
to
been in
buy
the
a gun.
shop lately?
I haven't.
We got like 6 of them hanging on the wall.
Hey,
Ready.
New Jersey's got tax-free closed month, so that's a big deal.
I think most states do.
Closed month? It's usually
I think
just
it's
a
month.
weekend.
Maybe I thought it was a month. I
He
can't
just
remember.
makes shit up back there.
You got to go get your Gucci's first.
That's right.
Not to pay sales tax on it.
That's right.
Well, you know, so Jason, I hear what you're saying. You're saying move to Wyoming. And, you know, West Virginia has really good
Spook, we
gun
still got 'em
laws
everywhere
and all
here.
those other things too. But at the end of the day, we have to.
At the end of the day, the federal government is going to override a lot of that. They don't respect.
Well, the
states'
problem
rights.
is that we need to start making sure that we as a country are getting back to the Constitution.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You know, there is a supremacy clause that the Constitution is supreme across the land, regardless of what laws individual states.
If you have somebody enforce it.
If you have somebody to enforce it, and again, you know, that's the reality is that we do have rights, and you know what, if we can make sure that YouTube can't deny somebody to come onto their channel or to make a channel, or they can't suppress them because they're black, because they're gay, because they're another minority, or they have some sort of religion that they oppose. So again, what my point is that should reign true all the way across all of the Bill of Rights. Like, because you believe in the Second Amendment, as long as you're not doing anything unsafe or you're not promoting anything unsafe, you shouldn't be arbitrarily kicked off because you were talking about or on the video with a something that is completely legal, and not only legal, a good thing when it comes to society, teaching firearm safety, teaching people how to do things right, teaching people not to choose MOA because that's bad and MOA sucks.
You know what I was just thinking about?
What's
what
that?
you should try is do a video and just do it. It would just be a complete joke, but do it with a Red Rider and be explaining all the features and stuff of it and see if they demonetize a Red Rider.
Oh,
video.
you
You
for
can't
sure
do that.
they
You'll
would.
shoot your eye out.
I know, but
Again.
you
For
think
sure
they would
they would
still?
demonetize
Chris, one of the last videos I did, all I had in
Oh,
front
I
of it
know.
was an
but I'm just-
optic.
but then I don't know. Then you could like blow it up and be like, "Look, it's a BB gun," and even show the
Nobody
whole.
gives a shit. Because of what they
I
say,
hate- I hate this world
'cause
anymore. I really
here.
do.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right?
Uh-huh.
You're now promoting guns to kids.
I didn't say the kids were shooting it.
I understand.
Maybe
that.
maybe
But
I
I'm just
enjoy
saying that's what they
clinking
would
beer
say.
cans with
That's
a
what they
BB
would say.
gun.
Shooting a BB gun's fun.
No, but
It's
you know
great
what?
time.
BB guns are especially bad because they promote guns to kids. That's
That's why they're getting rid of nicotine cigarettes. What?
What?
You didn't hear that yet? Or not nicotine? Sorry, menthol.
I was
Sorry.
like-
I've been
Menthol
drinking. I've been
cigarette?
drinking.
I was like, generally speaking, I don't think children should be smoking
No, but they
cigarettes.
said, they said
That's why
they've
I
already
was
got
like,
rid of.
Is
They already
that
got
the
rid
starter
of
cigarette?
the. Yep, they
menthol?
already got rid of the flavored ones,
Oh.
and now they're getting rid of the menthol flavored
Can't
ones.
start those kids
That's
on
why.
Marlboros.
That's
right.
why in West Virginia they're no longer letting kids smoke.
I know. You got to be over 13 now.
I see a fourth grader like, hey, what are you doing over there?
Remington's like, I gotta take a break.
I will kill my kids if I catch them
Oh
smoking.
Jesus!
My bad.
I go to that jumble gym. That's hard.
Did you just wait? What'd you call it?
Oh God!
What is jumble gym? It's all in a jumble.
Whoa,
What?
whoa, whoa,
What's
whoa,
a
whoa!
jumble gym?
Did you really just say jumble?
Yeah,
Jumble
not-
gym?
it's
jungle?
mind bottling.
It's
Is that what you
mind
meant? A
boggling.
jungle gym?
he meant a jungle gym, but he called it a jumble gym.
Yeah, because it's all jumbled in
There
different
is not
shapes.
jumbled. Usually
Yeah.
they're in pretty good order, Jay. You have the monkey bars here, the jungle gym here, the swings, the slide.
Ah, you don't know.
Real quick, Nels Defiance
Where did you
said,
find this guy, Gary?
Santiago, I'll happily make you the face of Paramount.
you got to post a picture of him picking up his prize.
You took the picture. I thought you were
And
going
I
to post
sent
them.
it to you.
Oh, yeah. Anyways,
That was your mistake.
Santiago was one. Jesus
I
Christ.
took actually a pretty good picture.
So hold
too.
on. I got a bone to pick with my arch nemesis here.
there's
So
somebody-
first of all,
Somebody slid something.
Jeff. First of all, Jeff. Let's just get something straight. Mill can do everything MOA can, even to shoot as smaller groups. But Mill can do a lot more than MOA can, and Mill can do things that
Oh,
MOA
Jesus.
can't, but not vice versa.
We have
Let's
to do
just
this.
go ahead and square that away right now. Back
dark
to
out.
Mike Poindexter, back to bigger and better things. Get a black guy, girl,
No,
No. Read it
black
slow.
gay
Read
girl.
it slower.
black gay girl to do a gun channel on YouTube and see if they get banned.
You know what we could do with that?
You
We
know-
could just have Jay dress up in drag.
I'll
mean-
tell you this.
I'm not saying it's not tempting.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, look, we'll just have Nels Defiance come on.
If you've been
He's not a girl though.
if you've been
Just
paying attention
make
to,
that
to
clear.
culture in general, I'll honestly say when you have people of color that are conservative or whatever else, they actually get hit the hardest.
Yeah, they get attacked like
You look at
crazy.
Candace
Really?
Owens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pork. I do like her.
Or they call it like the men. They'll call him like Uncle Tom's
openly,
traitors, Like,
Damn.
when you're looking at Tim Scott, look at the
I really like
look
Tim
at the
Scott as
stuff
well.
that he gets abused with by the Democrats. Same thing with
bitches.
Hispanic conservatives. I mean, they get hit left and right
I mean,
too.
Look at Jay.
Mi gente.
Well, first of all, he's not a conservative.
Yeah. A Hispanic liberal.
He's a
I'm in the
he
middle.
is a
Hispanic libertarian.
he is a liberal that happens to sort of know a thing or two about guns,
Thinks he does.
but he still doesn't want the everyday American to have guns.
You only got two hands, Gary. You only need two guns.
That's right. That's true.
what happens when one breaks, Jason?
The New York
One
Fuzz
hand?
love him
You
away.
don't need a
That's
gun
all
in
I
one
need
We
hand
to
don't have
know.
to think about that far in the future.
The gun.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so I don't have all the solutions. I don't know, but here again, it goes back to this. I think there has to be. I genuinely think there has to be a legislation change on this. I think the fact that we have certain inalienable rights that should be protected by government from the private industry, and I think these should fall under the same category as religion, sexual preference, and skin color. And race. I just think that everything that's under the Bill of Rights should be protected by the government, not just those few things. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. And the
I
reality
mean,
is,
the First and Second Amendment are out the window.
yeah, that's absolutely true. We can't have. It shouldn't be okay, and that's the change that we've seen in the last few years too. There was, and one of the things I actually cut out of that video on Russell Brand, I wish I would have left in, is I said something to the effect of, look, I know these are protections that were always specifically protections in the Constitution against government, but the reality is that we also had this agreement among American society that we stood for those same ideals, and people weren't going to really challenge you when it came to your right to speak your opinion. We didn't have a society that was constantly trying to deplatform and cancel people. That has changed, And because of those changes, I do think, again, if we're going to get in government involved in anything, it should be protecting people's rights. It's the only thing that really a government should even exist other than between that and warfare. If you're going to get government to interfere in something, it should definitely be that. Jeff Hahn says the government isn't interested in protecting Americans or the rights. They're focused on total control of the populace. Absolutely. Yep.
I would concur.
Yep. We can throw in a little bit of Richmond, North of Richmond song right there.
Sing it for us.
Little
Do
Oliver
it just
Anthony,
like him.
right?
Little Oliver Anthony. Which,
Go ahead. Get
Did I
his
nail
get
that?
his
which I
guitar for him,
do.
Jay.
I do.
Get Vito on the mic.
I do feel a little, I don't know, betrayed, lied to. You know, his name is Christopher Anthony.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, Oliver Anthony.
Yeah, it's not Oliver.
That's
Anthony.
It's not his real
name.
name.
I don't
Oh,
blame him
man.
though.
So,
I think Oliver has something to do with his grandpa or something like
so
that.
Oliver was his grandfather, and that's what he named his YouTube channel where he
Okay.
started posting that. Was Oliver, basically Oliver Anthony Music
Yeah.
was the channel name. And then, of course, everybody thought he was Oliver Anthony, and that's what he goes by now, essentially.
Oh, he goes by that now.
I mean, only because
His
it's
stage
just become a
name,
thing.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
His real name is Chris.
unfollowing.
His name is Chris.
Yep.
Dang it.
If you haven't watched his
don't like anyone
interview
named
with
Chris.
Joe Rogan,
That's
you
a
should.
good. That's a good one. I watched it at work the other
I'll tell
day,
you, folks.
or listened to it.
Nick Freitas, he just had a interview. He was on the Sean Ryan show. One of the most powerful
Shut up, Kyle.
interviews I've ever seen. Always been. I follow Nick Freitas. We were actually at First Group together. He lives in Northern Virginia, not too far away. Some of my friends know him.
Okay, is he still a
No, he's not a
Virginia?
Virginia delegate anymore.
Delegate?
No. But he's still in politics, and I hope to see. But I'll
I
tell
think
you,
his wife was running for office now.
it might have
Last
been
time
so.
I checked.
But you need to go watch that podcast with him and Sean Ryan. That guy, pretty impressive stuff. Hopefully that guy, that's the type of person we need for president. Really does. What else? Mark Twain didn't
Talking
use
about
his real name
president,
either.
did
Yep.
you see Tucker Carlson's interview with the Hungarian president?
I didn't. I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the full interview. I need to watch that.
Watch it.
I will.
It's the way he talks about the president in 2024 is it gives it a new side that we would never, I don't know how to say it, what we wouldn't think of how the rest of the world looks at us, how they actually do look at us, and how we can control things, and how much of a joke this current term president is right
I already
now.
thought we
100%.
were thought of as a joke.
I
now.
mean, but hearing it like in their own words, I mean, yeah, I know everybody's like, this is a laughing stock, but hearing how they explain or he explains it is insanity because
Yeah.
they know we're a joke right now. They know we bend over right now and not even using Vaseline or anything. It literally,
Jesus.
that's
Well,
how he's
hold on.
explaining it. It's wild.
To put again, being someone that when I traveled so much and traveled through the Trump presidency into the Biden presidency,
Mhm.
there are certain countries that are very similar to political parties, right, or would more easily align themselves with a Republican and or Democrat party.
Correct.
One country's idiot is the next country's that they love them because there
Gotcha.
are
I see what you're
definitely
saying.
countries all over the United States that apps are all over the
That's
country,
like-
all over the world.
Do explain, sir.
So I see what you're saying. So it's like
All over the world.
It's literally
That-
asking people in the street. It can swing that much.
It absolutely, there'll be countries that absolutely love Trump, and there'll be countries that absolutely abhor Trump and
Gotcha.
and love Biden today.
Huh.
Same thing
But
during
do you
the
think
Obama
they love
administration.
Biden because they know it weakens us,
That's what I would assume.
France probably loves Biden.
or they're
There's-
just
Yeah.
that liberal in their thinking that they think it's more aligned with how society should be?
Like I just
There-
imagine if if Trump gets a president again, North Korea does, oh no, we suck again, right? You're like,
So
I like that,
There
Jay.
are,
I'll give you that
there are definitely countries that basically really bought the cartoon that the liberals sold when it come to Trump, right?
Sure.
And again, and some of them think that
I guess so,
Biden
Jeff.
being in office completely has brought like class back to. I've literally heard that from different countries
Oh,
all over the
Jesus.
world. That
man can't
oh,
even
he's so
stand
much
up.
he much
How's
classier.
that?
We have, but the other problem with that too is is you have embassies and consulates overseas that are so leftist that you'll openly hear, everybody in unison in those places bash Trump or praise Biden, and then also the people around them. There's like 70% of embassy or consulate is going to be their personnel is essentially local nationals.
Right.
So, these people kind of either they actually feel that way, or they know that that's what the people there want to hear too.
So,
But
and going back to what I said, Tucker Carlson picked the perfect candidate for what he wanted for his show.
I don't know. That
You know what I
that's-
mean? Though, I'm just saying he's
saying-
not going to pick the one that says no. He's a huge dickhead or whatever.
If he'd have picked France, you'd probably heard the exact opposite.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes
But-
more sense. I didn't know that, so that
Yeah.
enlightens me a little more on how I process what I see there. You know what I
If
mean?
only
I
you were
didn't
as
realize that.
well-traveled world traveler like Gary.
Well, I can't blend in
Oh,
as good as
Jesus
him.
Christ.
Well,
That's the
but-
A soulless man can blend in anywhere.
Well, he's basically
No, I-
transparent
I-
where he
I-
goes
I
places.
mean-
So
It does give you perspective.
Sure,
because-
I was
absolutely.
not making fun of you, baby. Relax.
No, I'm not.
But no, that does. I
Even
mean,
if
I
you
didn't.
were, it's okay.
I didn't realize that. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that makes once you said it and it came out of your mouth, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I
On
mean,
another note, back to the dignity comment and bringing dignity back to the United States. I
What
read
is
a
that?
news article today that they've always had a dress code at the Capitol.
Oh, yeah.
That it got dropped
Yeah,
and
until
changed
Fetterman-
because of Fetterman from PA, so he could wear his hoodies. To
Yeah.
freaking
what
they need to bring that to all government
I-
buildings.
no,
I
just have a little
honestly-
self-respect in the way you dress.
Oh my
Well,
God.
summer he has to get custom suits, so it costs more.
I honestly, the first time
It's
I
not my
saw
problem.
him with Biden wearing a hoodie, I'm just like, this is who was elected.
Right.
I'm like, this is who.
Jay,
this
that
is how you
state
meet
is
the
not
president
far away
from
first
us.
time in a hoodie and gym
If
shorts.
Uncle
Exactly.
Fester, if Uncle Fester was a drug addict and an alcoholic
Legit.
living underneath a bridge,
That's what he would look like.
That's who we'd have.
I really can't fathom this. And then
So-
they just let him get away with it, so they changed the rules.
Well,
Yeah.
Jay, that's because they don't want to
Oh
deal
my
with
God.
them. They're
And
just
by
like,
the way,
I
staffers,
swear.
right, and interns, they cannot do that. They have to wear suits.
I heard until recently, like even women, which now they'll be screaming sexism, that all women on the floor in the Capitol had to be wearing pantyhose. Like you couldn't wear a skirt and heels and bare.
Well,
tights.
you know why that is. Probably a lot of them women didn't shave their legs. They didn't want to see that.
the hair will come through the
Ah,
pantyhose.
at least there's a buffer.
Yeah,
Chris. Jesus.
Jeff brought up a good point.
did
There
Kyle.
is a new office being proposed by this wonderful administration, the Office of Gun
read
Control.
that
I don't
as
think
well.
that's exactly what they call it.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna go work
the
for them.
office to prevent like gun violence. Or something.
Yeah, the prevention of gun violence.
Yeah.
What? How does that even work?
All right, define that office.
Hey,
Oh, they
don't do
will.
that anymore.
Whoa.
All I know, it doesn't matter.
do
Here's
gun
what we're going to
violence.
need. It's going to need about a $6 billion yearly budget, and we're going to fill that with
So are we getting furloughed?
what's that?
Is all the government employees getting
We
furloughed?
ain't, don't put we in there because I don't work for the government.
I don't.
Listen, if you
I ain't
want
getting
$1
furloughed.
billion
I'm not getting
to steal an
furloughed either.
American, you'll get your.
You're on
Like-
furlough.
No, I'm not getting furloughed.
You got,
I'm
like-
about to be. It doesn't matter.
FEMA has a blank check. I mean, you won't get furloughed.
But
You have paternity leave for like
paternity leave for 3.5 months.
years.
Now, I'm just wondering. You think they'll come to an agreement
Yeah, they will.
by the 30th?
Oh, did the United
Look,
Auto Workers
worst
come on
case-
strike?
No.
First of all,
Worst case
talk
scenario,
about
they
those
might
people.
go like a week past, but
It won't be. It won't be
it'll
like
blow.
in past years when they did like a month or two.
No.
You go in there.
You know
It
what?
never
There's
went a
something straight,
month or
Gary.
two.
Oh, it definitely went a
So-
month.
so-
Yeah,
It
it definitely went a month.
It-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have
it
a
did.
couple
This was
buddies.
like
I have a buddy at the
2000
FBI that he sat at home doing
16.
nothing, but
Yeah.
he got his money after the fact.
Yeah, this was like 2016 or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Jay. In
Yep.
the teens, something or
give
other.
or take.
Yeah.
Luckily, the contract we were on, we were paid in advance, so it didn't
Yeah.
affect us at the time. You know what? Because right now, all they're talking about is trying to force the Democrats and the freaking most of the turd Republicans in there, to agree to an 8% cut, and they won't. So that's what they're fighting for, and they won't do that. Pretty crazy. And the fact of the matter is they'll win. They won't get that 8% cut, and they'll end up folding. We have the weakest Republicans. Well,
Well, run for office,
I just repeated myself.
No,
No.
Chris. He would spend so much time so angry and
Gary would
frustrated.
literally.
What does he do
implode
now?
day
He would
one.
explode.
Yeah, like
It's no different.
He would walk.
He was
up
angry
to
before
go
the show.
Swear in,
Before the
and
show
his
started,
brain-
he's like,
brain
"Why am I
would
so
just
red?"
explode. Yeah,
Because you're just
absolutely.
angry.
Speaking of it, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just saying, imagine this, Chris. If my job, again, as a firearms instructor, but they won't give me bullets. That's how angry I would be when it's my actual job.
No, you'd be angrier.
But I don't doubt it. But no, it's never.
I think
happened.
you
You
should
should
do it.
sound effects, Gary.
He would be a great politician, but
But budget cut.
Jesus.
Budget cut.
I think we have to do a friend cut.
Speaking of anger, earlier, I'm sorry, I think I'm funny, but earlier Gary's like, I haven't eaten all day, and I was like, me either. I'm running on rage and caffeine right now, and he's like, oh, just another normal day, right?
Actually, what I said was, well, you should be able to go for another month then.
I think I had like 3 monsters today.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I have a heart attack.
Monsters.
You
If I have a
talking
heart
about the
attack tonight, you know why?
You're talking about the peachy braille cans, right? You're
Gary,
fine.
give her your watch. Make sure she's wearing that
Yeah.
tonight.
Where is your watch, Gary?
It was
Charging.
dead, so it's charging.
Oh.
Am I
you-
going to
I
AFib?
will
Yeah,
say,
I was
hold
gonna say,
on,
you're
hold on. My arch nemesis just said something that we agree on. Scroll slowly upward, Jay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Slowly.
upward.
Not full auto. Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
God.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! I
We're
tried.
back
No, the
back
wheel's
to-
worse.
Go
We're
down.
back to 7:30 at night.
MCG spook. There we keep going.
A little bit
Slowly
more.
down, Jay. Oh my God.
We should let Vito do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Right there.
Stop. Don't touch anything.
Throw that up on the screen. That's the truth. See, Jeff, we do agree on some things. Makes me sick to vote Republican. Sometimes I cannot vote Democratic and live with myself. So that's absolutely true. But
And you know your vote in the
we have a
independent
terrible
or any-
choice between a horrific choice.
It's just a
That's our
waste.
choice.
You're right.
It's either terrible or horrific. Commies or almost commies. That's what we're left with.
Gary for Senate 2024.
No. Nope, 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 nope.
Senate.
Nope,
What are you
nope,
going to
nope.
look at for, Jay, now?
Funny how Congress took 6 weeks off. Jay, why don't you throw
Right
some of these
there.
comments
Yeah,
up?
I was going to say.
Okay. Working
only
on
to
that.
ask for a CR for 30 days to fix their problem.
Well, of course.
Jay, you got to click it.
Yeah. Show. There you go, buddy.
Jesus Christ. It's like the first time he's ever been back there. Jay, you're fired. Vito, you're hired. Change
Listen,
seats.
since you gave Vito the controls, my hands have nothing to do but drink now. So it's like, I'm having a great time back
Welcome.
here.
You forgot how to left click within 20 minutes.
It's gonna be a great time.
Oh, Jesus. What else we got going on? Oh, folks, we got some things in the works for spring and summer that
What about winter?
many of you, well, I'm talking about this specific project that I'm
Oh,
working
okay,
on
okay.
that is going to blow your mind. It's going to be some pretty cool things
Let's
coming
wait,
up. Oh, it's going to wait.
Don't
I'm not
tell
going to announce anybody until it's all done. It's finalized. It's
Dang
good to go.
it.
All the
It's
details.
going to be so exciting.
Are you going to do
So
a,
exciting.
do a skydiving class?
Yes. Skydiving, and you only you get no parachute,
You gotta catch it in the air.
and we're gonna teach you.
out. Go.
We're gonna teach you how to shoot a rhythm drill just so perfectly with 2 guns
To keep you off.
that if you do it at the right time, within the right distance from the ground,
That must be a heavy caliber.
you'll
for my-
actually
for
you'll
my
actually
ass.
you'll
No.
actually be able to land
It
safely.
has to
How
be my
cool
ass.
would
It
it
has
be to have one of
50s.
those parachute suits that you fly in?
That's called
A wingsuit.
A
wingsuit.
wingsuit? And you're like
Parachute suit.
shooting.
Parachute shoot.
That would be so freaking cool.
So they have that
do
with
that.
there's lots of folks that are doing zip
Nothing
lines.
was hit. That's surprising.
They have that with zip lines. There's a thing. I think it's stupid. It's probably not the. I guess if you had the right environment, you could probably do it safely.
What zipline shooting?
Yeah,
But there's
that's
really,
a thing.
is there any
Zip line
practical?
Zip line shooting.
There's no
I'm assuming
practical.
all the targets are in front of you, right?
Well,
They can't be
application.
lateral.
I guess are you lateral, really?
Yeah,
And you're just
yeah. There's even been competitions where they've
How
included
is
that,
that?
where you lay down on this thing, you're zip lining and it was like over a quarry.
Oh,
you're moving briskly.
You are moving briskly.
your leg down.
Good 25.
But yeah,
30
but the targets are like, so you're like in line with them and you're shooting them.
You're-
as you're
You're
flying.
shooting them at. You spin around so
they're-
they're
okay, so they're off at
perpendicular to
45
the.
degrees.
There's a target field. It's not like you're shooting directly to your flanks or anything like that.
Oh, okay,
but
yeah, 'cause
but
no way.
there was targets at angles. I'll just put it that way.
Put that in the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with the flights, like the zip lining and
Like your all's
like,
classes actually have real world, like
What-
Well, I mean,
what-
that's the point. But
what
you
do
can have some fun with some things
Yeah.
from time to time. I bet
mean,
YouTube wouldn't allow that
they
video.
should do
to go.
skydiving classes and then have targets on the ground. And you're shooting straight down at them. That sounds about as important as the zip line.
We just drop the bullet. You don't even need the gun. Just drop the bullet.
Aim it.
It's like a mini bomber, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
It's the John Wick training
Dear
school.
God.
There we go. I'm in.
Yeah.
Now we got
How about that?
Jeff and Jason up here arguing about mill versus MOA. Jason
Down
says
with the FUD
down
MOA."
with the FUD MOA.
You just go to the number, don't count. I know you can't count past 11 figures in man gear.
Man gear.
I don't know what
Joke's
it means.
on you. I have an extra toe, so I take my shoes off.
Well, that's 21, technically.
That's why he has to wear wide.
Should at least get to 21. And if you count, the berries, that's 22. 23.
Wait, I was about to say, how many berries do you
I
have?
was like,
I was like,
do you only have one?
It's like, whoa.
Mr. Armstrong?
I always keep one in reserve.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Two is one.
Oh,
One
man.
is none.
Oh,
I got you. That's a fair motto.
Cool. Wait, there's another shirt to make.
We just got Jason's mind right. He was an MOA guy. And then all I had to do was come to one course, and he saw the difference. He saw the difference. I'll tell you.
you know.
Uniballer.
Uniballer. Yep. I actually do. We had this friend one time.
God.
I had this friend at work when I was before I was in the military. His name was Gene, and we'd call him Gino.
Jesus.
Well, he only had one nut, so we called him Uno Gino.
How'd you know that?
He told us he lost it to. I think he was born that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So would you call him Uno what?
Uno Gino. Good times. Good times.
All right. And now a word from our sponsors.
Morons of America.
Oh my God.
Oh, good times.
Jason says
Yeah.
MOA equals morons of America.
As I told Jeff earlier, it stands for
Oh my
minutes of
God.
gay. All right. MOA.
I can't.
I know. MO gay.
Okay.
MO gay. You had to be there. It was funny at the time.
All right. Jeez.
Now our sponsor,
Manscaped.
Manscaped.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Oh,
What else is
I
going on
can't
there,
breathe.
folks? What else we got going on?
grip check.
Jay wore a shirt without holes in it tonight.
I did, yeah. I came
it's-
over here.
And it's not black.
I didn't wear my
But his
church
shorts have paint on them.
Oh yeah.
How
That's
did
the
he
ones
get
you
in?
Oh
wear.
yeah, my shorts do.
That's
have
his
paint on them.
that's his secondary job. He's a wicked good painter.
I am a good painter.
You just need
Are
5
you?
gallons.
Yeah.
You
Like
ain't
a- like-
you ain't kidding.
You're like Bob Ross?
It's like I told Chris. One coat.
Oh, it's one freaking coat. It's this thick too, everybody. Where's the camera? It's this thick.
We do in this room one
You
time.
can bash your head off of it and take a hammer to it. It's gonna be as thick as your damn cell phone with a case on
Is
it.
it dripping everywhere?
Oh yeah, you got to do 2
Yeah,
layers of
yeah,
plastic
yeah.
on the ground. But the wall's smooth.
But there's no drips on the wall.
He rolls it for 45 minutes in the one roll. Then he goes, all
No.
right, next. Then he goes, next. I mean, it's smooth finish, but God bless. He's
One
like,
time.
It was one room. He was like, you don't have enough paint. I was like, I got 2 gallons. You're like, you don't have
No,
paint.
you had
Oh,
one
I had
gallon.
1
I
gallon.
said I need
for
you
like
to
an
get 2
8 by
gallons.
10 room.
Oh,
And it was only 3
try to get
walls.
one person at a time.
3 walls, and one had a door, one had a door, one had a window. I was like, I got a gallon of paint. That should be good. I did the math. This should be fine.
I told you
Jay
what to
gets
get.
there, and then the first roller full was a half gallon. I went, well,
I need more paint.
babe, I'll have to go to Lowe's. I need to get. And Jay's like slopping it out of the pan. He's like, work onto the wall and starts letting it eat. I'm like, God bless.
He just pours on the wall and squeezes it down.
I mean,
Squeegee
but
it
you
down.
know what? The finished product looks amazing. I can't say, and the price is right.
There you
I
go.
was about to say the price is right.
We trade labor.
I love my Marlin.
Yours
Yeah,
is
man.
a S. Is it a S?
I
right?
think it's the
SBL,
SBL.
right?
SBL.
I think
Yeah.
it's
It is a 4570, pretty freaking sweet. I do want to trick one out and put some M-lock rails on it and suppress it, make it look pretty. I hate to use. I'm not going to use the word tactical because that's not what it does. But modernize it.
tactical.
It's not tactical.
Tactical.
Nothing tactical about a single action
COOL.
single action rifle, just like there's nothing tactical about a single action shotgun. I don't care what you people say.
Jeff says, remember the world
Even if it's
ends
a breakdown?
Saturday, the 23rd of September. Is that when the...
The world ended in 2012. Everybody knows that, Jeff.
I thought it was 1999
Yeah.
during Y2K.
Y2K.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, what's Saturday the 23rd?
Is that when the...
Jeff?
Thank you, McSpook.
I don't know what that is.
What happened?
Let me know what it is.
I don't see anything.
You know,
Sniper AF.
got
Ah,
all quiet.
sniper as
Oh, sniper ass. I got it.
fiddlesticks.
We're waiting on Jeff.
Yeah, we're waiting
Jeff,
on
type
Jeff.
faster.
Jason, I am pretty sure that we could throw you in a ghillie suit and we can convince everyone that you are a Bigfoot walking through the woods. We actually
Oh,
No,
maybe
no, we
It's
could.
too
We
small.
could.
It's a little-
It would be Bigfoot's child. Bigfoot's 6 foot plus. Oh, you're talking about that, Jason?
Jason
Oh,
is
sorry,
6'5".
sorry.
I'm not talking
about that, Jason.
No,
I'm not talking about the toddler.
no, I'm bush sides. Yeah, there's a moving bush over there.
First of all, that's called an Ewok.
It looks like
He's an
it
Ewok.
would look like a damn boxwood coming
fucking
through the
Ewok.
woods.
That's what we'll do. We'll get Jason in a ghillie suit.
That
Mike,
was always my claim to fame. Is that in sniper school, I literally walked all the way.
You didn't have to crawl?
I just crouched down and walked. It was awesome.
Through the tall grass.
I was so fast. It was great.
How'd you get here so quick?
Yeah.
Mike says every movie show, a horrible event happens on September 12th.
Yeah, no, actually, that's the thing.
I've never noticed
What
that.
is somebody Google
Okay.
September 12th?
No, no,
What's
no,
the
no. Look,
significance?
look, look. I'm going to go in and show you, Gary. Look at this. Literally, I have it on my
Wait,
calendar.
when did Will
Something is
Smith
supposed to
save the
happen.
Capitol?
I had that already
Okay,
in my calendar.
so that's great. Somebody tell me what the significance of September
There
23rd
has
is.
been.
What is the
so,
lore?
Okay,
What's the
so
myth?
I know this is TikTok, YouTube, everything I've seen on random ass shit.
Where only truth is told.
Right. But there has been, and I'm going to go. I'm going to go down
Do
there.
it. Do it. Let's do it.
You love the conspiracy.
Where's
theories,
I do.
Chris.
You didn't even bring a
So-
tinfoil hat today.
No, I didn't need it because I have the better hat on.
That's right. That is.
So people are going to think I'm a.
Let's do it.
I don't even know.
I won't judge you. Maybe a little. We'll see.
There's
Gary's very
been
judgy.
multiple people that said, and I know it's total bullshit. And I'm telling you all, I know it's total bullshit, but they said they're time travelers
Oh yeah.
Who's
me too.
time travelers?
on TikTok and YouTube.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Hey, science.
And they said something's happening on the 23rd, and I have saw probably 5 or 6 different things, and not just. It was only like one dude that
Just
said it
now
was a time
telling me
travel.
this. I only have 3 days to prepare now,
I know,
Chris.
right?
Hey, you're right.
I only have 3 days to prepare.
What do you need to do?
I don't know.
All right, see ya.
He's
Well, if you
leaving
meet
to go
yourself,
prepare
he's
right
preparing.
I'm going to get locked and loaded.
Charge the batteries. No, but I know y'all can call me the conspiracy theorist, whatever.
All right,
But
calm down. Now I'm ready. I'm ready. For
The problem is Gary's going to meet
I'm ready for
himself
the
in the
23rd
future
now.
on September 23rd. He's going,
Right.
man, that guy's a dick.
Well, let me tell you something.
I already had it in my phone because I didn't want to forget it.
Sort of epiphany. I'm like, you came back here to tell me that? I knew already.
Cool, bro. You wasted that.
I would kick myself in the balls and tell me to go back and come back with some
But
good
no,
information.
like they said on there, though, it's a weird date that lots and lots of people think something's going to happen. What is it?
Is it like on a Mayan calendar?
I have no
I don't know.
idea.
Like,
I wasn't born then.
Well, guess what rabbit hole Gary's going to be going down tonight? September
A bunch of
23rd.
movies that show reference of September 23rd.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna
okay,
Google
so
that
Poindexter's on my page. I mean, it's just the weird.
You know
when
what,
the
Jay?
tinfoil
What
foil
I'm
on that's
disappointed in you right now is the fact that I know there is a very appropriate sound effect that should have happened somewhere in that conversation that didn't happen.
You know
Vito,
what? You should be mad.
I'm gonna give you my account information to Epic. What is it called? Epic
Epidemic.
Epidemic Sound.
Epic Games.
Where you get on there, you download all kinds
Play
of cool
Rocket
sound.
League.
Be back there, just turn it into a rave with sound effects.
I got yelled at for too many sound effects
Well,
one time.
Jay didn't know the right sound effect for the right time, and he overdid it. All right, so he had his sound effect privileges taken.
Jeff Hahn says biblical predictions, movies, solar flares, the list goes on. However, you should be prepared.
Always be
Absolutely.
prepared.
Well, thanks for giving us a fair warning here,
Y'all should have
guys.
known that.
Yeah, with 3 days.
We're
this
busy
is-
working.
This is not enough.
Some people work
This is not
around here.
enough. Luckily, we generally stay prepared. So
Yeah.
again, you guys, we're gonna. This is our fallback point. Make sure you guys get your side by sides
No,
loaded up.
wait
my
a
fallback
minute. We
point.
can't invite everybody.
I'm talking about these two,
Okay.
not Jason. This one,
Not Jason.
Jason doesn't have enough guys to bring.
to bring to the
'cause I was struggling at that moment. I'm like, what does Jay bring to the table besides humor?
Hey,
You know what?
Need to
Just
laugh.
no, he has that new
Live and
5.7.
love,
He
Gary.
has a new 5.7.
Brianna's a nurse. You can bring her.
You can drop
but
her
you
off.
have to leave.
You can
have
drop
to leave.
Brianna off.
I'll just pick her up on my way through.
Yes.
Where y'all going? CJ.
That's right. It's National Kick a Ginger Day. That's what Jason's
Is it?
saying. Hey,
National
come
November
kick this
20th.
ginger.
I would never.
You're
kick a
welcome.
ginger.
Anyone is welcome to try.
You don't want to kick this ginger.
And Jason, you're a big dude. You may win, but we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna give it a go. All right.
Reminds me of
I
that.
ain't, I ain't afraid to lose.
That's a good thing in
He's a
life.
big
to be
dude.
honest with you,
Oh yeah.
What? To not be afraid
not
to
be
lose?
afraid to lose.
Because he knows he's not going to lose.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Jason's a big dude.
I've seen-
He
I've
outweighs me
seen-
quite a
Oh,
bit.
I wasn't talking about in
No,
that
I was
particular
I was talking
instance.
about Gary. I've seen Gary lose an argument or two to you there somewhere.
Well,
Don't tell
Gary-
Gary that.
In Gary's mind, he's never lost an argument.
I'm just glad that you recognize that, Jay. We're going to go ahead and make September 23rd
No, word from our sponsor.
the official Recognize That Gary's Right Day. especially about Mills.
You know what really
Jeff.
pisses Gary off when we're in an argument?
Oh man!
When I say, okay.
Kyle's right.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, it makes me mad right now. I'm not gonna lie.
You're getting redder.
I can see it.
When she says okay and like just
I'm just like,
turns
okay.
around, like I know that BJ.
We were
didn't-
arguing
her-
about the
tell her-
driveway the other day. The
Tell
rock
her
on
to
the
get a
driveway.
Can-Am Defender. See what she said. Tell her
She
to get
said okay. I said no problem. Can-Am Defender, freaking limited.
limited.
We get that thing jacked up 6 foot.
No, we got to get my car jacked up first.
What?
We, ain't
Yeah.
we don't need your
Needs a little
your
lift.
vehicle is a tow vehicle. We're not putting a lift on it.
Put a
woman.
lift. Let's put
You
like.
said we could.
Hold on.
Now you're reneging on it?
Oh, you can't say that on YouTube.
That's not-
Jeez, oh Pete.
That's not what I'm
Oh
saying.
my God.
It's getting hot in here. Sheesh.
Never mind.
Oh my God.
Popcorn time.
Gary's lost.
Look,
Gary's been married 17 years. He's lost
she
a lot
has
of arguments.
minority
his
friends,
mind.
folks, so don't hold that against her. She doesn't mean it like that.
I didn't.
Hold on. Jeff is actually.
Jerry's a mine.
We're joking around here,
already
and,
too.
and Jeff is saying some good stuff. Scroll back up.
Uh-oh.
Where would Jeff Hahn? Jeff Hahn.
Slowly, please.
We got two
Where?
Jeffs on here. I'm gonna have to go with McGook
There we go.
and Jeff Hahn.
This one?
There are two main theories about why the world is ending on September 23rd. The first theory is based on the prophecies of the Book of Revelation, which will cause. I can't read tonight.
Catastrophes.
that
Damn,
take
I'm
place.
drunk and I can read that.
Well, my mouth is freaking dry. I couldn't get the.
Where's your water's right here.
Yeah. So where are they getting that out of Revelation? I'd like to know.
Revelation.
I got to pee.
It's the Book of Revelation.
Oh my God.
The second theory is based on a study published by, I'm not going to pretend to pronounce that, which hypothesizes that a solar storm will hit the Earth on September 23rd and cause a food shortage and damage to. I'm going to find
Damage
the rest of that.
Oh, don't worry,
Damage to popcorn time.
McGook. They don't actually get me down ever. Spook McGook. I'm gonna go with that. We'll just call you Spook.
I just like spook. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with Spook. Let's see what else. We have been having a lot of solar flares lately.
It should be
Hey,
interesting.
I will tell you, going back to the Revelation, there's a real thing going on with the Euphrates or the Tigris, but that thing is drying up, and that was one of the main
I saw something about
predictors in the Revelation.
that. Yeah,
Talking
when
about,
it,
I
when
believe
it
it's the
dries up,
Euphrates.
that's like when the shit hits the fan, essentially.
Yeah, when we start seeing the different angels released.
We always had that planetary problem
What planetary problem?
with Uranus.
I'm gonna let him laugh at his own joke.
I try to hold it in.
I could resist it.
I try to hold it in, but just seeing Jay's face, I should have just looked at you instead.
This is ridiculous.
His feet were kicking in this chair and everything. He was like this.
I'm like 99% sure the Book of Revelation doesn't say anything.
I don't
about
think it says
September
anything
23rd.
about a specific date.
I'm 100% sure that doesn't say anything about September the 23rd or
King John wouldn't have put that in
the
his
year
Bible when he
2023.
decided what he wanted in
So
there.
there's that. Jay, you know what? For giggles, pull up Revelation 12, 1 and 2 and the
Yeah.
If you need to,
what?
Revelation
12.
chapter 12, verses 1 and 2.
I know you don't know how the Bible works, but there's chapters, there's books, and there's verses.
Yeah, but you said pull it up in something.
Yeah,
Uh,
share the screen.
You can share
Oh,
the
and
screen.
share the screen.
Yeah.
So you can do it in
Okay,
Chrome
folks.
like you did last week, if you remember how to do that.
Here we go.
Here we go. Give me a second here.
Exercising Jay's brain.
And the scary part of this, folks, is when he does this, the screen goes away for us, and we have to look at what he's looking up.
What are we sharing?
And it looks like
Jay just looked up Revelation chapter 12, verse 1 2.
wait.
Not yet, Jay. Not until you have it up. Then share screen.
Yeah. I'm picking up. I'm picking that
All
up.
you got to do is minimize this screen.
Do you
Jay.
smell what I'm
Just
stepping
minimize
in?
the top there. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh God! Now we can't see anything.
It's like if you gave.
Why do you have a zoomed-in picture of Elon as your background?
Well, who doesn't? First of all, it's a rifle.
I love it. No, I saw Elon JPG.
Oh, the J. Yeah, I had a
JPG.
Elon
spell this
JPEG
again?
that I used in some
Revelation
Revelation.
chapter 12, verse 1 and 2.
It's REVEL.
Revelation. Revelations.
1 to
12.
2.
Just do 12 and 1. Or you can do 12
1
1
dash
2. There it is.
The woman and the dragon.
Uh-oh.
Her name was Summer.
Yeah, you should have done
All right, so
one and
this is where you share the screen, Jay. Now you're there.
Okay.
Read full chapter. Click on that first.
Oh no.
Click
Okay,
on read
here we
full
go.
chapter. So you can read the verse after it. Oh, God.
Close that and open it up. No, you're good. Just do entire screen. Just do entire
All right.
screen. There you go.
Oh, Lord.
And now just open up. Now open up Chrome. So help me God, Vito, you better take over.
Okay. So,
Hopefully they're seeing this.
hopefully they're seeing this.
All right,
hold
this
on.
is what chapter.
They're not.
No,
I
they're
have to
not.
do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom.
There you go.
And boom.
There.
All right. The woman and the dragon, a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head.
And go to the next one.
Slide.
No,
Nope,
that's the
that's
next
chapter
chapter.
no.
Change
Oh,
chapters. Scroll down.
There
There we
you
go. There we go. Right there. Go back up.
This is
She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on its heads. Its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to the earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth so that it might devour her child the moment he was born.
So dragons have, historically been referred to, or comets have historically been referred to as dragons. I'm sure that's what we're talking about here. Of course, I mean, again,
Basically.
that's however you want to interpret
Tell
that.
you what, verse 7, crazy too.
What does it say?
The war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon and his angels fought back.
The dragon was not strong enough and lost their place in heaven.
I tell you what, Revelations is wild.
It is. It is indeed. You can stop sharing now.
Good. That was a lot of stress. I just want to let everyone know. It's very stressful for me.
What,
you
the
sure-
screen
are you
sharing or
sure
what the
they're-
Bible says?
Are you
didn't
sure
know.
they're seeing us again?
I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing us again?
Yeah. Who? Everybody?
Everyone.
Well, they're seeing what we're seeing.
Okay.
I definitely rode the short bus because I was told that was for special people.
His mom said he was special.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Lloyd. The dragon is Satan and his followers in the life before earth and
Yup.
Adam. They cast the dragon and all his angels out and down to the.
Oh, there was a comment that just passed. That was Elon sending up Starlink satellites.
It would be awesome if you weren't crunching ice in the
Gary
in the
hates
mic.
crunching.
There's literally nothing.
thirsty.
You had all day to drink. You had all day to drink.
No, I couldn't. I was working.
No, hydrate with water.
You were working.
I don't drink water.
You were working. Oh, good. When we say you're thirsty, I got you. Okay,
Yes.
we're not talking about hydration.
Oh, look at
No,
that.
not hydration.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, Mike's on Jason's team.
My
You're
bad.
the
I
best.
remember that
Jay.
for future.
Mike is
Gary.
Mike is awesome, and so is Jay. Jay is awesome. We give him a lot of hard times, but we love him. He's so cuddly. I mean, how can you not love an Ewok? Little Ewok. Jay, you need to be an Ewok for Halloween this year.
I mean, that sounds like a good
I
time.
think it would be awesome.
That or Jabba the Hutt.
Jeez.
We can get Jason sponsor down here, and he could be Chewie. He'd be Chewbacca. He'd make a perfect Chewbacca. He's probably like the exact height of Chewbacca.
What are
I
you
bet-
gonna be for Halloween?
He could be Han.
What can I be for Halloween?
You're a
don't know.
stormtrooper, then we
I'm
would have to see your face.
I'm 43. I quit
Jason will be
celebrating
participating
Halloween
in
like
Halloween.
20
He's
years
going to be
ago.
having a baby on
That's
Halloween.
true. We'll have to be
yeah.
having a baby on Halloween. So
You know what we should
my
do?
Halloween's over.
When we get closer to Halloween, we should pull up Jay's picture when he was Fred Flintstone
Fred Flintstone. Yeah, that was a good one.
with old no beard Jay.
I remember that one.
God, you were odd looking. I still love you, but God bless you, were odd looking.
I looked
All right.
adorable.
What other topics do we need to cover tonight?
I don't know.
What do
I
we?
don't know. I'm
What
waiting for
events?
Saturday
Oh,
now.
hey, folks! One thing we got coming up. I again, if you are in the area or even not in the area, I highly recommend. What the weekend after next, we have
The weekend after this weekend.
off road,
Driving.
the off road, the high performance off road driving course.
It's freaking sweet.
It is sweet. You should
Folks,
enroll.
it is unbelievable. You definitely need to check it out. I'm going to get out there tomorrow. I'm actually going out to do a video on it. It's just been so busy doing so many other things that we haven't been able to market that as much as I would have liked for sure. But we're going to get a video on that tomorrow. And it's the capabilities. If you know how to drive a vehicle properly, you will be shocked at what a standard 4-wheel drive vehicle can actually do.
Oh
The other thing they cover is
Jay.
recovery, flip. If
Shut
you
up.
actually flip the vehicle and recover it, you're going to learn so much in those 2 days. It's unbelievable. You're also going to do high speed performance driving on unimproved roads, improved roads, as well as doing a lot of things over unbelievable terrain that when you look at it, you're like, "There's no way this little old Grand Cherokee is going to get
I
up
say
there."
they're all
I,
XJs,
I
aren't
was
they?
like, why are you putting?
They're all
pointing your thumb
XJs. I
at
mean,
me?
XJs are capable. That's
You said this
I was-
little old, and you had your
This
thumb
little old
pointing at
lady
me.
over
I
there.
was like,
what I
what?
thought was cool when I saw it from the beginning when you first started talking about it is they were using XJs. So all you out there, TJs, YJs, all the XJs. But that was really neat that XJs are as capable as what they're pushing them to. That just shows the
Absolutely.
capability of that. Even though that's old technology, they're still capable of what you need them to do. That's pretty, that's
Absolutely
pretty
they are.
neat.
Absolutely. All right. Santiago's going to be out there at October 1st, Summit Point.
Racing the vet.
Nice. We'll
Can't hide it.
We'll come up and see you. I don't know what day is October 1st. Is that
That's the second. That's a Sunday. It's the second day of the off road.
okay? All right. We'll be up there. Hopefully
October
we'll be able
1th.
to- October 1th.
It's a Saturday.
TJ
It's a Sunday.
Rubicon.
TJ.
Jason says, "What's your thoughts on 223 Wild?" So all my ARs are in 223 Wild. It just
Me
makes
too.
sense.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Yeah. So get yourself 223 Wild. We can go into more in depth on that another time for sure. One thing I got for those of you out there, if anyone is familiar with 6-Arc, we got some uppers coming in on 6-Arc.
I bought some ammo.
High
and
precision.
6-Arc for you to try out too.
Awesome.
Did you?
Didn't I buy
wanna,
that?
I want to see it.
I bought it.
I haven't
you?
had it in my
I
hands yet.
did.
What's that?
I haven't had that round in my hand yet. I want to see it. 6-Arc.
The rep
Why
called
do
me
you
and
gotta
was
make
like,
it
I got
sound weird?
some.
I haven't had that one in my hand.
I haven't.
Yeah.
He has
I
a-
like
seen it.
I like feeling
I
ammo.
haven't seen that one.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I
1,000
haven't had
pardons,
that one.
Gary. I'm not putting it in my mouth.
That was an odd
You
way
could
to
be
say
feeling
It
worse
was-
things.
I know. I could be
It
touching
wasn't on what
Gary.
it said. So, anyways, we got some 6-Arc. Number one, I'm very fascinated with that round. I was kind of waiting for it to see if it was going to stick around. You guys know how all these different rounds that are coming out. I usually hold off. I'm usually last to grab one. Like I didn't have a 6 Creedmoor or 6.5 Creedmoor until I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years after it came out. Completely sold on that. Definitely much better than 308. Can do everything the 308 does, just a little bit better. A lot like when you think of MIL versus MOA, it's kind of the same thing.
Full circle. Full circle.
Speaking of Jeff, he says.
Ready ups.
No, well, no.
Oh,
Jeff says he's near Savannah. Jeff, I was born and raised about an hour and a half away from Savannah.
yep.
Curious to know, are you actually in Savannah? Or
Maybe
just
we'll have to
surrounding
link up
areas?
sometime.
Yeah.
Spook, we'll go down there and
Argue over Mill versus
we'll go
MOA at
over
the
there and
range.
argue over MIL versus MOA. Yeah, 6-Arc is popular in PRS. I just think I also think when you're talking about any sort of varmint hunting, predator hunting, honestly, even deer hunting, but having a little bit more capability out of your AR platform, it just makes sense to me. We have a couple of clients that come to our courses that shoot that pretty regularly, and I've been really impressed with the abilities of that 6.5 or 6-Arc. So they actually just came out. My buddy Ray Helms over at X Ring. I just talked to him today, but they just came out. I think it was Horny that came out or somebody else, but he was just talking about a 6. I don't know. It's another cartridge. I am curious. Actually, when I was talking to him today, I thought of that and meant to ask him specifically what the difference is. But he has a full video on it. You guys go check that out. If you're not following Ray over at X Ring, you should. Yes, the 6mm
He's a good
max.
dude.
That's it, Jeff. That is it. That is
6
it.
mil max.
Jeff is in Wadley,
Fancy.
Wadley, Georgia.
Wadley, Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah, you got 6 Dasher. I don't know who was kind of. There we go. 6 Dasher. You got 6 XC. 6 BR. 6 Dasher does seem to be the one that is lasting the longest on that. And you also have 6x47 Lapua. I actually have a rifle in the safe that I think I put like 5 rounds through. 6x47 Lapua. There's a long story behind that, but I actually need to I want to get that action and that barrel off there because it's a beautiful action and barrel. Things Defiance action, and I actually want to put it in the chassis because it's in more of a. I think it's not Manor stock. It's in a stock. I need to get that another. I want to get it in the chassis.
Yeah, you haven't shot that.
6 GT. Yep, 6 GT is another one that's very popular. 6 Dasher does seem to be the one that is, I don't know, more or less sticking around a little bit more. See more and more people going to 6 Dasher. I have heard that 6 Dasher was a little bit more finicky when it came to loading and chambering. I don't know. Not one that I played with. I probably am, one of my next rifles, I'm probably just going to get a 6 Creedmoor. I do want to get a rifle in the 6mm as far as a bolt gun, but just because I barely have time to reload, I'm probably just going to go 6 Creedmoor. No, it's going to be MPA chassis, almost definitely. There are a couple of MDT chassis out there that I do like, but at the end of the day, I really like the BA chassis or the ESR chassis from MPA. I think it just really does check all the boxes.
Yep.
What else? All right. Well, folks, I think we ran out of stuff to talk about for tonight. Got anything else, Chris?
I'm trying to think, but no, it was a good show. I enjoyed it.
I feel like, is there any other announcements we need to make?
I can't wait for the announcement you said that's coming up. So I guess I'll have to come back next week.
Well, it's not coming up next week.
It's not coming.
Well, I have to come back next week so I can know when it's coming.
Show up every week until we announce it.
I
Chris.
probably won't
Like,
announce it
share,
till it'll
everybody.
probably
Like
be at
all
the
of you.
soonest will be January.
But you guys should
But I
still
might
come
tell you.
every
I'll
week.
be, my birthday's in January, so maybe we do a
Maybe
birthday
for your
announcement.
birthday, I'll announce what's going on. All right, folks.
Stay
Listen,
tuned.
we always appreciate you showing up. We appreciate you coming out. Sorry for those of you that were having issues on Rumble. I apologize. And again, folks, the point of tonight is to just think about what's going on with this country. Make sure you guys are staying active. Make sure you guys are getting people out there and voting, and just spreading truth, man. That's really what it comes down to, because that's the problem. Is the truth is not getting. Our abilities to spread the truth is what's getting limited, and that's the real problem with what's going on in this country. We have, a couple of different organizations that more or less do have a monopoly on information, and that needs to be fixed. I don't have the answers for it, but I think between us and everybody else out there, we're going to get to a point where we have to come up with some answers. So, again, you people on this chat are very influential in many different ways. So make sure, just like Jeff is saying up there, you're prepared for the worst case scenario. Make sure you got food, ammo, water, medical supplies. Make sure you have the training that goes along with that. And also make sure you go to ParamountTactical.com where you can go check out our upcoming training schedule. We'd love to have you guys out. We'd love to meet you folks in person for those of you that haven't. I know there's many of you that are coming to our next long range course. We got lots of cool things coming up with that. We're definitely going to be doing some more content on MIL versus MOA. So my arch nemesis, Jeff, you're going to continue to see how superior MIL actually is. So don't you worry about that. Yeah. What else, babe?
That's
Anything
it.
else? Make
Nope.
sure you subscribe, like, throw a comment down below. And folks, by the way, unfortunately, I think all the likes that you put on this video, once it is no longer live, it converts basically to a standard video. Go back and hit likes a few times, and throw down some comments too. We always appreciate it. But we appreciate all your support. We love you guys. And until next time, stay armed, stay ready, and we'll talk to you soon. And Jay is nowhere near Good.